Alright, guess who forgot to edit and post the Berserk clips that I filmed 2-3 months ago? Anywho, I really like this section. Quite honestly, I do like the beginning of Berserk. Obviously, the Golden Age is a classic, but even the introductory arc and the fantasy elements that we got with the, I'll just say the fairy one. But it's not that I'm disliking the current arcs in Berserk. It's just going more heavily into the fantasy, almost feeling like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign to me, than I was expecting. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just slightly different, and that is, in all fairness, one of the things that I like most about Berserk. It seems like each saga is separate, almost in tone, in a story, in themes, than the one that came before it. And I guess just because this is my least favorite focus doesn't mean it's bad. I just was expecting maybe something different. I do like that we're focusing more on Farnese, and I'm not sure why I'm not loving her yet. The character work is coming along. I think I'm just not clicking as much as I would want to with her character specifically, but we're getting there. She's getting more powerful. We're learning more about her family. I'm liking her father specifically, because a lot of the times when you see like a leader of a church or military, like they're fanatics and they're not as competent as you would expect. They're almost a cartoon character with being ridiculous. But here, you very clearly see how he can manipulate and demand respect and control. So that is interesting. I want to see where we're going from here. We get spoilers, so we'll get more into spoilers afterwards, but spoiler for character introduction, we get the fiance of Farnese, and I'm excited to see where we go with him. You'll see my thoughts once I'm introduced to him. What else? There was one complaint I have. I think I addressed it in the videos, but Serpico and Guts do end up fighting, and I'm sure someone could give me an explanation for why it's not forced and why it fits the character and all that, but to me, it kind of does just feel like the audience want to see these two characters fight, so we're going to force them to act in a way that is tangential to their characters. It's not a full subversion, it's not at a place, but it's just slightly forced to me. Serpico, I do like that his priorities are protecting Farnese no matter what. Even if that means turning against the group, working against her happiness to keep her safe, but then realizing, quite honestly, very easily, oh, Shirka, you can keep Guts from going berserk and targeting her and keeping her at harm's way, therefore I'm fine with it. I don't know. Mixed feelings. Again, definitely enjoying this, especially where we're heading, the war that's coming. The Emperor is a good threat, and I like the fact that this is what I love the most. Griffith being enemies to the Emperor, and the Emperor is clearly evil, but we know the history that Griffith has had in the past and what he's done, so he's clearly a villain as well. And if Guts wants to fight either, he can't fight them both at the same time, and it would be much easier to team up with one or the other to fight the third threat. But Griffith is acting like a savior, and the idea of Guts teaming up with Griffith to take down the Emperor, no, I can't. It won't happen, not even for the greater good. I don't know. I wouldn't do it, he wouldn't do it. It's not happening. So, like, will Guts team up with the evil Emperor to take down Griffith and sacrifice the world for his own revenge? I can see him starting it, and then realizing, no, I have to protect everyone else in the world, so he'll betray the Emperor, but then you leave with him fighting Griffith, injured after battling that one alone, or does he force to team up with Griffith, even unwillingly? I'm like very excited that this three-sided war battle that's going on. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. That's going to go a little bit more into clips, though. That's in the next section of the video. Not this video, the next one that I'll post immediately after, because I did continue reading, forgetting that I didn't post this one. On to Past Jessica. Alright, so we need a boat. All the boats are being used for war, and Farnese is just like, I got a plan. She takes her sword, her and Serpico go and meet with her father, who just turned away her brother for just following orders too well and not having a mind of his own. Unclear. They want to move up in the organization with the Holy See.
And she's just like, hey dad, what's up? And he's like, I don't care if you were the figurehead of the Holy Chain Knights. They're all dead on their mission and you survived. That is terrible. Yada yada, I should bring you to the court and have you face judgment. It would seem no matter where you go, the star under which you were born will see to it that you sully the honor of our Vandamion, I don't know how to say their name, the disgrace to their house. Rude that you haven't seen your daughter in how long, and you probably assume she was dead because her entire squad is dead, and that's how you greet her. Wonderful. Until I say otherwise, you're to abide quietly in this mansion. Oh, she's not staying trapped in some kind of cage again. That's not going to end well for you. Oh, she says yes, father. That's... Okay, so it appears she is going to stay in the manor as her father requested. So we're just going to need a couple of chapters, a page or two of being like, you know what, no, I don't like this. And her busting out. That's what's going to happen.
My pages are still together. Like they weren't cut.
I paid 67 Canadian dollars for this and they couldn't cut all the pages. Alright, so Farnesi's at a party with, I forget his name, black-haired guy that she's now engaged to. Now, he just has a face that looks like it's meant to be punched. And I want to say he's scheming with her brother, because they're clearly scheming together, and creating an alliance to take over the world, explore new lands across the ocean, and take advantage of the new world that's coming, yada, yada, yada. All well and good. Now, he very clearly looks like he's going to be a terrible person and fiance to her, even though he's being all sweet-talking starting off. I want to flip that and it be a twist that he's genuinely a good guy, and when he sees the real Farnes, or Farnesi, I still have not looked up how to pronounce her name well, is going to be like, oh, you're an adventurer, you want to be a witch, you're so entertaining, you're so different, because he was saying he didn't like roses and she's standing out among them, yada yada, he was being a sweet talker, whatever, but like, maybe he'll be impressed and genuinely care for who she actually is, and he'll join our side and go on adventures together and get them a boat, because I think Casca accidentally burnt the letter that would have got them a boat. We also meet Farnesi's mother, who kind of apologizes for being a terrible example and not raising her and locking her away in a cold environment, saying it was her father's doing and she scares her father because he fears anything he can't control, yada yada. I don't know how I feel about her mother. She seems to want the best for Farnes, or Farnesi, and I almost feel as being forced into the narrative. Like, she's like, oh, she's such a good person. She cares about her daughter and her interests. And I'm like, no, you left her alone. You didn't raise her. She was cold. She wanted affection and love from her parents, but never got it. Again, mostly it was her father. Like, where were you? I don't trust the mother. The mother is the one who's being presented as this kind person. He and the fiancé, she's like clearly scheming. I'm like, nope, switch it around. Mother's going to be evil. Fiancé's going to be a good guy. That is what I'm going with. That being said, I also thought Judo would be evil. I'm not a good judge of character in this book. Alright, I was pretty confused for a minute because Serpico just lured Guts and the others into like the Hall of Pillars and is fighting him to use that area because then Guts' sword can't, or chunk of iron disguised as a sword, calling itself a sword, can't reach full speed, more likely to take him down. But I'm like, why are we fighting? And now it's just like, okay, yeah, you were changing Farnesi, you were changing me, thought that was a good thing, but then he's thinking of how he imagines the Berserker armor eventually killing Farnesi, and I'm like, yeah, okay, he won't allow that, so this is how he chooses to stop it? I don't know, seems like a forced confrontation to me, but he will do anything to protect her. But he knows she's not going to be happy in the castle, that she was happy traveling with them, so I guess safety over happiness in his mind? Oh no, Serpico got crushed by the pillars. He just sort of betrayed them. Fairies are like, let me take a look at that head of yours. Okay, and Shirka is just like, I'm never going to let that happen, never, so. And he's just like, we gotta go find Farnesi, come on, let's go. And Serpico's kind of just cool with it now. This seemed like a really forced fight. Like, the audience was expecting them to come to blows eventually, and this is how it happened. And he seems very fine with going to look for Serpo's just like, yeah, okay, Shirka said that she's not going to let anything happen to Farnesi, so I'm cool with this now. The fight's over.
All right, so they're at the party. Serpico and Guts have made they're heading there. They're all friends again. It's fine. When a giant tiger lion hybrid, don't know what, attacks the party, heads are rolling. The art is gorgeous, and it was right when Farnesi's brother was about to announce the engagement, but she had snuck off. And I love that in the panic, in the chaos, Farnesi's still just like, this is up the astral world. What is it doing here? Oh, that's a silver candelabra. I'm going to use it and stab him in the eye. And it's just like, I can't move in this dress well. But again, what I love about Berserk is the style of the art and the page spread. Something as simple as focusing on, I'm assuming this is her father right now, just the white background, so he and his gaze of what she's doing is what's in focus, and the look in his eye, and there's no mess around it. It's not crazy background details. I just like the use of a white background when needed, and I love that. And then she's about to be attacked by the tiger thing, and she's closing her eyes. All of a sudden, there's wind around her. Serpico grabs her like an angel and swoops her away. It's like, my apologies, I was needed as a guide and had to step away from a bit. And then you see the black cloak as the black swordsman's guts arise. Looks like the party's in full swing, and it's just glorious. They're here to get her back. It's wonderful. It's been a page 10 out of 10 because the dialogue, go back to Isidro being like, okay, so Farnesi's just like, what are you doing here? And Isidro is just like, to sample the food of the court, of course. And Puck is just like, the tiger's been sampling the people. And Guts pulls out the swords like, here, kitty, kitty. No one can resist saying, here, kitty, kitty, even when said kitty is about to destroy you. I'm not sure how I feel about him attacking sweet, poor little kitty, but fine, whatever. Look at my boy. Okay, Serpico standing up on the thing, coming down like a demon. You see the ones in the boats controlling the tigers, and then it's just their heads falling, and it's a delight. And I love everything that was happening here. Like, we're getting great little character moments. So, Isidro, he threw his explosion and is protecting the nobles. Puck is trying to extort money out of them. Farnesi gets some vine powers from Shirika. And then her fiance, Roderick, who I jokingly said, like, he's coming off as a scummy, pompous, opportunistic kind of character, and I expect to eventually hate him. But he comes in with a sword, fighting with Guts, saying, I can't let you taking all the credit in front of my fiance, I gotta fight too. And then he's saved by Farnesi. And the look in his face when he sees her controlling the vines, I had joked, my joke was that he's actually going to end up being a really good guy and we're going to come to like him and he's not going to be how he's first impression. I wasn't serious. He doesn't look angry like you're a witch, you're controlling these vine things. He seems, it's only one little panel, he seems like a little bit shocked and amazed, impressed by her. It's like, Farnesi, you did that? And she's just like, please use the silver, or use silver as a weapon against the monsters, and he listens to her, grabbing the candelabra that she had before, or at least a similar one, and stabs him in the eye just like she had previously. Am I actually going to like him? Because I'm all for that. Now I think Shirika has bound the tigers so they can't move. Oh, also previously, Farnesi, they were about to just run away with her, saying, all right, we got her, let's go. And like a bunch of other tigers had all come in. It's like, all my relatives, all my family are here, I can't just leave them. And Shirika's just like, that's really cruel, Guts. You can't just expect us to leave all these innocent people to die. Like, fine, we'll fight and protect them. Talk about charity. I love that moment. And it looks like Farnesi is coming back with us on the journey, obviously. All right, so at first the group was just like, hey, thanks for saving us. Then they're like, did your daughter just use magic? And Farnesi's father is just like, are you crazy? You think my daughter used magic? What, are you out of your mind? You gonna go prancing around telling stories about fairies and monsters before a battle? You'll be a laughingstock. Clearly, this was all a mass hallucination, probably by that smoke. So stop being so foolish. And everyone's just like, yeah, we're not arguing with you. You're very scary. And Guts even calls him very harsh. But then Emperor Buddy of the Kushan Empire comes up in his fog form and starts speaking to the crowds like, you think this is an illusion. So he's listening in. I have come to declare war and blah, blah, blah. And Guts recognizes him as an apostle, and he's very angry. And having Guts angry at you is not a good place to be. Reason for my check-in though, I like boats, and this is a very pretty boat picture, and I got a feeling it's going to be on fire very, very soon. They're burning my boats. So, Griffith is getting some insanely powerful or important people on his side, and that is mildly terrifying for our group. I assume the head of the church, Holy See people, starts with P, don't really care about the title, is dying, and his clerics, I guess, are talking about who will be his successor, and as he's laying not asleep listening to these people talk about him, he realized he did nothing important with his life. He didn't make any giant proclamations, he didn't do anything grand, but he also didn't, destroy his reputation, wasn't corrupt, just kind of neutral. We hear him think about his life, born into privilege, but didn't really have any grand emotions. Joined the church not for a real belief of God, not because he was praying with his own heart, but just try to bring meaning into his world, what he's seen, and just felt like he never accomplished everything. The hand of destiny never reached out to him to show him the path. And now as he lays here dying, and I love Berserk with the dark imagery just creeping in around him, all it is the words of his thoughts as he's slowly sinking into death. And then the light reaches out to him. I don't remember if it was a candle or a feather, whatever. A light coming towards him, and then all of a sudden there's feathers everywhere and wings wrapped around him, and he's bathed in what he feels like holy light. And basically it's a message from Griffith, as now he is fully awake. And the two messengers, Griffith's men, the empathy... Sonia and Mule, I think, show up, and they're like, yeah, we lied to you. We're actually to bring you somewhere else. And his guard people and clerics are just like, how dare you? No, we don't know who you're from. You're not coming with us. And now the head of the church of crazy people is just like, nope, this was destiny. I will follow you. So he's going to be obsessed and loyal to Griffith, and that is power that Griffith will take full advantage of, is what I will say there. We also have Guts interacting with a knight that knew him when he was in the Band of the Hack at one of the tournaments, and he's just like, what is your name, where is Griffith? And Guts is just like, he's probably closer than you think, and that's not a good thing. I got a little bit more, so I'm going to finish off this now. This is a bit. What do you mean we're ending it here? What a weird place to end a volume set on. I need to know if they make it to their boat. I need to know if the boat burns. So Guts and crew are charging through the city, and I don't know, that weird elephant thing with the teeth and the I don't know what it is, the weird thing. It showed up, and the two newcomers, fiance guy who told Cedro, name's Rick, what was it? I like fiance guy, and Rickard also called him that. Name's Roderick. They're all fighting him, and they're freaking out seeing this weird monster thing, and meanwhile our crew's just like, another one? And they're like, there's more? This thing isn't unique? What is wrong with you people? Correct response. I like them. And then I think a second one showed up, as well as more tigers and demony ghoul things, so they're in a bad spot. Isidro and Roderick are fighting together. It's like, it doesn't look good when the princess protects the knight or something like that, so like, I gotta do this with style. I like Roderick. I don't know if he's going to betray me. I don't know if he's going to be a jerk. I like his character, though. I like his personality. I'm already won over. I don't care if he's a villain. I don't care if he's a good guy. His personality has won me over. And Farnesi's brother is just like cowarding, as I would too. And Shurika, this little girl, is just like, just stay behind me, and I love it. And Guts is trying to keep the Berserker armor down. And that's where it ends, and I need to open the next volume set, because I want to know if they get to the boat. This is 10, I need 11. Did I buy 11? I have 11, okay. Boat. Get to the boat. Alright, so just a little bit into this one. Shurika summons Hellfire on a spinning wheel, and torches everybody, almost including her friends, but thankfully Guts pulls her away. But then a different sea monster, dragony beast, not elephant, Cthulhu monster looking thing, can't find a good picture of it, comes out of the depths. There it is, evil looking boy. And Guts needs to go Berserker mode to take it down, but, Shurika can't bring him out of it, so instead, her soul spirit gets put inside the armor, and she's seeing what he sees, so I guess she's going to try to help him out, and not let the suit take over and corrupt his soul and destroy him and kill him, but then the, one who summoned, or was with the ones who summoned the crocodiles back at the beach, This guy, he shows up, and I just did a little flick through the chapters, and I'm apparently not going to know if my loves get their boat because it seems to go on for a while, so I'm going to stop here, but interesting battle is about to happen. So that's all I got. I will check in later with my next update for Berserk.